precept?
I want to make sure I'm not.
In fact, let me read you all know about that Florida shooting this week. Which they said supposedly 17 people got killed. You know, it's all glory to the Most High anyway. We don't care about you Edomites, man. Alright? If it did happen, because we know there's a lot of hoax out there too. Right? A lot of these are just drills where no bodies actually drop, but they report that and pass legislation. But if bodies did drop, all glory to the Most High anyway, man. The agenda is still the same, man. Okay, just like the Vegas shooting, man. Okay, which that was foolishness. Talking about a 63-year-old white man converted to Islam and wanted to shoot people up, man. Come on, man. But this one just happened, and then you had let me read this article. Good. Let me read this article. Like I said, that shooting is one. And also you have what? World's first human case of H7N4 avian flu reported in China. Just like in the movie Contagion. It says, let me just read some parts of it and get some precepts. 68-year-old woman was hospitalized in January. While wild aquatic birds are natural hosts of most influenza type A viruses, H7 virus infections in humans are not common and typically cause mild to moderate illnesses. That's what they're saying now. Okay? Alright, they're always trying to downplay things, man. Okay, this is some serious times we're living in, man. Just like that flu. Technically a flu causes body aches and, you know, fever and things of that nature. But you had people dying, man. Just like you had the Spanish flu after World War I, man. So now you got this first case of this bird flu. Why you got the flu in United States? Which they actually shut down schools because of that, man. You read on though. A 60-year-old woman living in Jiangsu province in eastern China near Shanghai had contact with live poultry before she began developing pneumonia-like symptoms December 25th. She was admitted to the hospital January 1st and was discharged after sexual treatment January 22nd. It was not until February that the virus was identified as being of avian origin, according to a report from the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which the WHO, World Health Organization. There's all kind of diseases they're going to release out here, man. It's all about population control. Okay, that's why they created Ebola. And they usually test those viruses in third world countries. You got the West Nile virus, and SARS, and the bird flu. Okay? You had swine flu a couple of years back, man. In which they all man-made, man. The scripture says, despite man Esau, he's wiser than Daniel. Okay, there's no secret that can hide from you. So he learned how to manipulate these viruses, man. And that's how he released these things in the air. Put certain things in your food, man. Which we been know that. Okay, I think there was a woman right here in the city that got died because of that flu, man. So this is no laughing thing, man. This is what the scripture talks about in Matthew the 24th chapter. Well, Yahawashi said nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. Wars, evils, and pestilences. Are not these things happening? Don't you got wars and rumors of wars in the Middle East, man? Don't you got nation against nation? You Israelites gonna come up against these Edomites in this country? Don't you got the pestilences? Okay? Don't you got famines in Venezuela? Puerto Rico, man. Okay? They just got power the other day. All that's gonna take place here, man. That's what we sent out to do, to prophesy doom, destruction. Okay, we're not the prophets of peace. That's not who we are, man. Those are the pork chop eating, the pork eating devils on Sunday. That's what they teach. Get some precepts. Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. Jeremiah 28, verse 8.
On my way back.
It says, the prophets that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of wars, of evils, and of pestilence. There you go, man. That's what the prophets did. The prophets did it in times past. They did it during the time of Jeremiah. We're doing it now. Okay? And all those ancient men are back here today, man. Most of them are located in Babylon, but they're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Four winds of the earth. When you read Revelation the 7th chapter, the 144,000, man. Okay, not all the prophets were talked about, man. Not all the prophets even have books. Okay? John the Baptist was the greatest prophet after Yahawashi. He don't have his own book in here, but he's talked about it. But the case is, like the scripture says, you read 1 Corinthians 14:32. And we'll read Jeremiah 28 again. In fact, let me read Jeremiah 28 and I'll just go over that. Jeremiah 28 verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries. That's what the prophets do, man. They prophesy against countries and against kingdoms, man. We're not in league with you nations, man. We damn sure ain't in league with America. Alright? It says, and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what we are here to do. To prophesy of war, evil, and pestilence. Okay, that's what we sent out to do. We ain't out here to teach you how to make it in America. Like you had these other camps teaching how to love your wives, man. We ain't in that time, man. What the hell you worrying about that, man? Like the elders teach, man, these women, they're not your wives, man. Because they done laid with other men already, man. Okay? Like they say, she's never yours, it's only your turn. That is the truth. So you jakes that went out there buying Valentine's Day gifts and flowers and cards, you a bunch of simps, man. You a bunch of goddamn simps, man. Okay? Because she probably got 4 or 5 other dudes buying her flowers and things. Stop being a simp, man. Okay? And all that spirit is going to stop, man. When all the wars, evils, and pestilence start happening, women going to be brought low. Very low, man. The pride that they have now is not going to exist in that time. You just watch, man. You just watch what the Most High do. Okay, he's rubbing his hands right now. Everything is in its proper place. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. Matter of fact, what Paul said, since I just got on these women, 1 Corinthians 7:29. But I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth both they that have wives be as though they had none. So even if you have one, Paul says, I'd rather you be like me, don't even deal with them. But Paul said, those that have wives be as though they had none. Okay? And if they leave you, then guess what? That was a blessing from the Most High, man. Because she would have gotten your way anyway. Like the scripture says, it's better to make it to the kingdom mine than don't make it at all. And it also says, the book of Revelation, the 3rd chapter, let no man take thy crown. Okay, we have the crown already. We just got to endure. Okay, the victory is already written up. We just got to wait to see it, man. Endure to the end. And one of the main traps Satan used to get men out the truth is women and money. Those are like the two snares that catch men, is women and money, man. Okay, that's when you have a lot of money, you get a lot of women. The two go hand in hand, man. Those are the two devices of the devil, man, to get men out, man. You know, it's Passover time, it's sifting season. So you always got to be on your guard this time of year, man. Hell, all year round. Because the Most High is constantly sifting the house of Israel. We read 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Prove that the prophets is still here. It says, and the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. So you can't make yourself a man of the Lord. It's either you were chosen or you weren't. That's just how it goes. Predestination is in the scriptures. Everything is predestined. Good. All right, good. Everything is predestined, man. Nothing just happens based off chance. That's foolishness, man. Everything was already written of and spoken of. The spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets, man. So if you're a prophet on fire now and you make it to the end, your victory is written above going back to the beginning. Okay? That's what Yahawashi told the apostles. You guys were with me from the beginning, and that's the truth. Okay? We were with the Messiah from the beginning. Lord willing, I'm talking as one of the elect, hopeful elect. Because those spirits were the one that created the different planets and the other worlds, man. The Alahayim, or what they call the Elohim. Alright? Let me read Revelation, the 10th chapter, verse 7. How you doing? Revelation chapter 10, verse 7. I just totally switched zones. Let's jump back to the original topic. Revelation chapter 10, verse 7.